What's up, Greater Texas family? Gabby here with my good friend Josh, and we are going to be commenting on several different situational awareness videos for you today and just kind of giving some chit chat back and forth and some of our thoughts on the events. And these are real camera in the wild out there videos, so we're really gonna just give it to you in real time.
Yeah, I mean, we always preach about it all the time, situational awareness. It's the first line of defense. It's probably your best tool as far as keeping you out of a bad situation before that situation even takes place. So we're gonna be watching some prime examples, unfortunately, of people that don't have the greatest sense of situational awareness and how they get in trouble. So let's go. She's over here just getting her groceries out of the car.
And see, the crazy thing is, like, people don't understand even just walking is so fast.
Yes.
Like, just somebody walking towards you happens so fast.
And when the situation happens, like, you're already in it, right? So it's already too late. You're trying to figure out what the solution is, and if you don't have it, you just don't have it. So in this case, lucky for her, it doesn't seem like they want to do anything else bad to her, attack her or anything like that. They just want the car.
And you know what? This looks like suburbs to me. This looks like probably her neighborhood. She's probably right in front of her house.
Yeah.
Is what it looks like to me. And the thing is like, especially ladies, like, you gotta be careful around your vehicle. There's a lot of times, I think there's a big misconception that our vehicle is like our home. Our vehicle is like a safe space, when really, like, anytime you step outside of your home, even in your home, you have to have that preparation, right? But especially in your vehicle, when you're out here in the wild, in the real world, outside of your safe space, your vehicle is not necessarily a safe space. So anytime you're operating around it, opening up your trunk, loading in groceries, getting something out of your car, you gotta be head on a swivel.
No, that's perfect. I mean, and another thing too, we talked about it before, when we're in our car, just to take that little bit of a pause to look around you and see what's going on. Now, in this lady's case, it looks like these guys were pretty far off down the street, so she may not have been able to see them right away. But even then, after she gets out of the car, it's always prevalent to just go ahead and take a quick peek over your shoulders. It looks like her body communication is telling me, like, this is a familiar spot for her. It may be her neighborhood, like she was saying, maybe in front of her house, her friend's house, whatever the case may be. Even then, you need to stay situationally aware and understand what's going on around you.
Right. And one more thing I'd like to add is when you are navigating around your vehicle, whether that's putting groceries, getting your purse out, getting out to go to work, grabbing your things, whatever it is, blade your body when you do that. Don't be center faced to your vehicle, whatever door capacity that is, whether it's the trunk or your front door, the side door, whatever it is. Blade your body when getting in and out. That way you have your peripherals still, right? So for this instance, you know, she's getting things out of her vehicle. If she were to just blade her body a little bit, and I would recommend blading her body towards the road, you know, making sure that her situational awareness is also guided towards, you know, the street in case any incoming vehicles, whatever it is, right? But blade your body, that way you have your peripherals. And if you train your peripherals, I can be looking directly at you guys, but I can see Josh perfectly fine. If he were to raise his hand, whatever it is, I can see it happening in real time, even though I'm facing you guys. So that would be my last note.
Perfect. Move on to the next one, yeah? Okay, video number dos. The hair stand up on the back of my neck.
Yeah, number one, my thing is, like, why are we parking on the side of what looks like a highway? That's kind of like my first jerk reaction to this, is like, being on the side of a highway is never, ever, 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 ever a good place to be. Even when you're being pulled over by the authorities, you don't really want to stop on the side of a highway unless that's like all you can do. Try to find an exit, try to get off that main road, because it's so dangerous to be on the side of a highway. incoming vehicles, rocks. There's just so many things that can happen, and this is a good example of that.
Prime example, right? As we were talking about before, staying situationally aware as you are stepping out of your car, especially on the side of the highway. I've had a personal instance where my engine blew up on the side of the highway, a really busy highway, and I pulled over. I was still on the side of the highway once I actually called for roadside assistance. I made sure I stayed inside the car the entire time. And I even asked, hey, do you guys have the ability to put up cones, flares, roadblocks, anything like that? I am on a very busy highway. And of course, them being roadside assistance, they had all of those tools necessary to kind of cordon off our area, enough so people had enough standoff distance and could tell that they need to pull off into another lane. So even for me, being on the side of the highway is just not a good spot for you to be. So I stayed in the car.
Yeah. And again, guys, your vehicle is not necessarily a safe space. I just want to reiterate that from these last two videos, is that a lot of times we're like, oh, this is our second home, and it's not a safe space. So just remember that when you're navigating in and out and around a vehicle.
Okay, moving on. I like the dad wear this guy has going on. I'd wear that shirt.
Oh.
I feel it. I feel the pain. Sympathetic pain. That was a good snack too, man.
And that's just the good old classic, conversing with somebody, right? Maybe it's for the camera. Maybe it's you're out with a friend. I think, and this might be, taking it more to the serious side. I know this is kind of like a comical video, but there's a lot of times where we're out in public, we're conversing with somebody, or there are a lot of people around, and we kind of shut our brain off because it's like, oh, well, if there's a lot of people around, or if I have this other person with me, I don't really have to think about it. So then I can kind of shut my brain off and just kind of go into that I'm safe mode, right? When really, again, anytime you're outside of your home, it should be, I'm on a swivel, I'm paying attention to my surroundings, right? And then it can just go down to something simple like this, is like you're talking and then boom, you hit something and now your knee's gone, right?
No, perfect example. I mean, staying environmentally aware as well, right? This is a normal everyday thing. This dude probably goes to that exact same spot to fish and hang out. I know with dudes versus women, it might be a little bit different. I know ladies, whenever you're with your dude, you kind of feel like, oh yeah, I'm safe with him, and I can kind of turn off my brain. But at the same time, you still need to stay aware. Maybe your guy is having an off day and he's not staying super situationally aware of what's going on around him. But in this case, protecting yourself, your body, your personal space, right? Like this dude just cracked his shin pretty hard on that hitch, and now he probably won't be able to move as smoothly as he would like to for a week or so. Now let's take that a little bit further. If he does get in a bad situation, now he doesn't have the same mobility he would if he stayed safe and aware of what's going on. So once again, I know it's more on the comical side, but taking it a little step further into that more serious realm, I'm always watching out for what's going on around me and making sure my hands stay safe. I'm not bumping into things, because I know, hey look, especially in my line of work, I need to be able to stay mobile and be able to move around, my body stay free and clear of any injuries. So I've cracked my shin on a number of hitches throughout my years, and it's just not fun. And once you do it about, the fifth or sixth time, you don't want to do it anymore. So paying attention to that. Okay, so our last one is actually going to be a photo, and does this scene look familiar to anyone? It probably does, because you have probably been in that situation a number of times throughout your life growing up. Once again, staying environmentally aware as well. I try not to go to a whole lot of crowded environments, but it's just super difficult because that's day-to-day life, right? I go to the movie theaters, I go to concerts sometimes, go to events where there are just a bunch of people. And nowadays, I'm sure you guys have seen on the news, on social media, I mean, big crowds are kind of a problem, and it gets really sketchy if something goes down and things kind of start popping off like popcorn. And if you don't have your head on a swivel like Gabby says, then you just find yourself yourself in the middle of that situation, and now you're having to make critical decisions right then and there. When in reality, if you just stay situationally aware, you may say, hey, you know what? I may not want to be in this environment. Maybe I park a little farther away so I'm not kind of in a pack mentality around a bunch of other people that I don't know. Maybe I do a little research on what this area looks like. Where are my exits for myself or my vehicle? Where can I park when I'm out of the way? How do I get to this area? Where are like our primary, our secondary and tertiary meeting spots if I get separated from anyone in my family? If I can't use my cell phone, what other methods can I get in contact with people? What's a good meeting spot, and vice versa.
I agree completely. And you know what? I seen a video that looked literally like exactly like this picture, and I'm not sure where the whereabouts were, but it looked like it was on like a very populated beach area. And I mean, it's literally like a sea of people. It's people are like shoulder to shoulder, back to back, the whole thing moving in both directions, right? Kind of like the visual that you would see in like a New York street or something like that. And in this video, it was a guy who was very, very physically aggressive. He didn't have a weapon on him, but he was pushing people. And it was like, nobody knew what was wrong with this guy, and somebody was behind him recording the whole thing. That person wasn't calling out, hey guys, watch out, there's, you know, it wasn't even any of that. It's just somebody recording him, and then proceeding, this guy goes through the crowd just assaulting people. And everybody's like, whoa, what's wrong with this guy? You know, once they get pushed down or physically in touch with this person. But that's kind of like the thing is like, when there's crowds like that, it's very hard to detect that person or that threat if you are not with your brain on fully functioning, right? If you decide, okay, I'm safe because there's all these people around and everybody's calm and all the good things, and okay, I'm gonna shut my brain off, maybe I'm with friends, you're not gonna be able to detect that person. If you are aware and you are paying attention, you might be able to see through the crowd that person way, way far away and already navigate you and your friends, and maybe you're the person that's like, hey, this guy's tripping out, everybody. Guys, pay attention. This guy's tripping out, right? And you're able to kind of get that firsthand on that situation. And that's what's important in these locations, in my opinion.
And then last but not least, guys, I mean, once again, situational awareness is great. It's not the end all, be all, and it's not like an ultimate superpower. You also need to have skills to back that up, right? And I tell people all the time, take accountability and responsibility for your skills or the lack thereof, right? Don't inject yourself into a situation if you don't have the skills to get yourself or your family out of that situation. Make sure you are practicing, whether that is hand-to-hand, whether that is de-escalation skills, whether that is medical, whether that may be like automobile stuff. You can fix your car and get out of a situation quickly if need be. You need to practice those things. And if you are weak in any one of those things, well, I mean, that's okay. You may not practice firearms or fighting all the time like Gabby and I do. Well, then you need to pick where your strengths are and rely on those things in order to get you out. And that also will keep you out of situations as well. Well, guys, we really appreciate you hanging out with us today and watching some of these videos and hopefully picking up some tips and tricks in order to prevent you from getting into terrible situations. Guys, come visit us at Gritter for all things as far as self-defense, situational awareness. We have classes here all of the time, firearms classes, basic beginner stuff. We have situational classes that come through here every now and again. We have speakers come in and give you guys some good tips and tricks. If you don't want to listen to us, I'm not saying we're experts or anything like that, but I mean, we know a thing or two.
You guys give us a follow at GritterTX.
All right, catch you on the next one.